everybody, and welcome to Houston Life on this Wednesday, February 26th. Also, Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. It's a big deal.
Happy Ash Wednesday.
Happy Ash Wednesday to you.
And you celebrate Ash Wednesday.
We do, yes.
But you're not wearing the ashes today.
No, I'm actually going to go to Mass a little bit later. I didn't have time to go this morning, so.
And can you explain to people essentially what it means? Sorry to put you on the spot, but this was all new to me. You know, I grew up in Salt Lake, and so we didn't have Ash Wednesday. We didn't celebrate it in my family, and I didn't know until I moved away that there was other religion in the world. I know, ignorant me, right? I'm kidding. I knew.
No, it just signified, you know, the Lent season, and I'm not going to give you a whole Catholic school lesson here, but it's just a way to stop and reflect the next 40 days, the 40 nights, and you typically, like today, my mom will fast, and then we don't eat meat on today or on Fridays, and a lot of Catholics will fast during this time as well, so sun up to sundown.
And you don't eat meat on Fridays just during Lent?
Yes.
Just during Lent?
Yes.
And not on Ash Wednesday?
Right.
But Lent starts tomorrow.
It starts today.
So you will give up for 40 days something. Have you decided?
And a lot of people, it's funny, is a lot of people say, it's sort of like New Year's resolutions, you know, I'm not going to give up something, I'm going to do something positive. I do like to give up something just to show some sort of sacrifice internally. And I'm glad we're talking about this, because I feel like I need to vocalize it just to, like, keep me, as Trevor Shakiba likes to say, keep us accountable.
Hold you accountable? Well, last year, if you'll remember, you gave up champagne.
I did.
I
know, I was like, I don't remember.
Champagne.
Champagne, I did.
Yeah,
you have such a good memory.
Well, it was very problematic on the show. It was tough for me because...
Remember you were just drinking the champagne on the... Yeah.
Backstage.
I know.
No,
well, listen, I'm going to need all the love and support I can get, because there's a couple things. The first one's real big.
You're giving up a couple things?
I'm giving up two, and one is going to be difficult.
Come on, I feel. Wait, but why two? You just want to go above and beyond?
Yeah, just because I feel like both are kind of spinning out of control right now. So I feel
Girl Scout cookies.
Well, sugar, sweets, sugar.
You're going to give up sugar?
Sweets like that. Yeah. I ate like 4 Dunkin' Donuts when I was in Chicago for 2 days. That was a lot, because I knew it was coming. I downed it. But I gave up extracurricular shopping. So not like grocery shopping or, you know, the necessities. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like there are a lot of gray areas here. So no clothing, no jewelry, no shoes?
No.
What about like hairspray and stuff?
Well, if I'm out, right? But I mean, who's ever out of that? I mean, I just go underneath the sink and I've got 4 bottles that I'm not using. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't throw that away. I call it the cosmetic graveyard, because you don't ever throw it out. It's just under your sink.
It's just there.
Yeah. Listen, I bought a ton of stuff on Amazon last night before midnight just to get it out of my system. I'm just kidding, Orlando, I didn't.
And you'll return it all.
No extracurricular shopping.
I think this is really good because, I mean, first of all, giving up sugar. We could all give up sugar for a while, right? They say sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah.
So without the sugary drinks and without added sugars, you can only think that that's healthier for your body, right?
Right.
And also, I think we're in such a buying culture now. I'm telling you, I bought some shoes last night. I was up late on the phone, and it's so easy when I can't sleep. Oh, I just reach over. Oh. Brandon's asleep next to me. Yeah. I reach over, grab the phone, and suddenly a new pair of shoes is on its way. But we need to break the habit.
Break the habit completely. And many, many years ago, and maybe this was college or after college, something like that, I had this like really bad addiction to Diet Coke.
Oh.
And my Lenten season was the way I broke it.
Because 40 days was enough for you to break the habit.
Yeah, and I want to say it was probably a good 4 years before I actually had one. And it was at the movie theater with popcorn and Skittles, so it was a perfect setting. Oh. However, yeah, I would drink it all the time. And I realized this is totally getting out of control.
Well, it's always been interesting to me, too, that some of these diet drinks, they taste sugary, right? They have coloring in them and all of that, and somehow they have 0 calories.
I know.
That just doesn't add up to me. And they say that your body doesn't know the difference between real sugar and fake sugar.
Right.
And you know, my sister Elizabeth, the one with the 4 girls, she for a long time was a fitness model. And when I tell you, her 12-pack was like gunk, 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 gunk.
Yeah.
And if she ever splurged and had soda, she would go for like a regular
true
Coca-Cola with sugar in it, or like corn syrup. Instead of something artificial with 0 calories and chemicals in it.
Yeah.
So I know that for a lot of people, it's like a go-to.
It is.
A go-to thing.
But that's how I cured myself of that.
Because of Lent.
Because of Lent. And so normally I would categorize myself as a salt, not a sweet. In many aspects, I guess. And
you said it, not me.
A little salty sometimes, but lately I have found myself, and I don't know if it's because of holiday candy, Valentine's Day. I mean, my hand is in every candy jar, cookie, the Girl Scout cookies, and I'm like, what is happening? So I feel, now that I'm vocalizing it, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna tell you this now, because it's gonna be a bad couple days.
Oh,
I mean, you know, you always lash out to those closest. You and Orlando, I'm really sorry.
Oh, dear. I'm laughing about the Girl Scout cookie thing because Maria, one of our coworkers, she came by a few weeks ago and we all put in our Girl Scout cookie orders. And I don't need 7 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
Who does?
But somehow I ordered them, and this was my strategy. Well, I can buy all these cookies and then just leave them in the Houston Life office or take them downstairs.
Oh, you're the one that did that.
And leave them out, and then everyone can share them. Well, it turns out all of our team had the same strategy.
Idea.
So 60 boxes of Girl Scout cookies later, every single day we have cookies upstairs.
It's bad, really bad.
I like this Lent thing, though. I think maybe I should adopt it.
You can, there's still time. Still time.
To convert?
Well, you don't have to convert. You could just, you know, have your self-reflection and, you know, see if there's a sacrifice you're willing to make over the next 40 days.
I love participating in traditions from other religions. And again, I think part of it was because where I grew up, there was a lot of the same in one place.
Right.
So it's so great to live in a city that is so diverse, right? And where people believe so many different things. And I think it's a really fantastic way to give up something and show that you're committed to your beliefs.
Yeah, I'm really, really trying to read more. So this isn't a sacrifice, but I'm really trying to be mindful of getting back to something that I really love. And I'm not necessarily saying novels, but even just a morning devotion or something to start my day. Because then if I'm creating this habit now, maybe it will stick with me. Because I miss that. I miss that quiet time. I miss the reading.
Yeah.
And I just feel like life just kind of gets in the way. And sometimes I'm too tired to read, but I do get a lot out of it. So I'm hoping it's not necessarily a sacrifice, right? But that's just something that I'd like to change. So
instead of spending time shopping, you can spend time reading.
I mean, but that's kind of reading, right? Because I'm reading, like,
I'm reading the item description, size 7, color,
black. That could be my daily devotional. I'm just saying. That's
a really tough one. I don't know if I would be able to give up. Well, of course, we all could, right? But it would be a concerted effort to try to give something up for 40 days, especially shopping, because it's so easy. What about just like going out and having a round of drinks, though, with your friends? Is that considered like impulse buying? Or you're trying to keep the spending to nothing?
I'm basically saying like extracurricular shopping.
Okay.
So
other than necessities like food, toilet paper, consumables.
Right.
Have you ever heard of these people who go for an entire year? My friend Allison did this.
Entire year of what?
She went for an entire year without buying anything but toilet paper and things that she needed to survive. Gasoline if you drive a gas-powered car.
So like no clothing, no new earrings, no purse.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we all have too many clothes, right? We all have shoes that we don't wear, or I feel like we have so much stuff, right?
Always.
I can't believe that when I moved here to Houston 3.5 years ago.
Would you say you didn't come here with, you came here with what? No furniture.
I brought one small chair, this little Eames plywood chair that I have, which is a beautiful chair. It's small though, and I thought I'm gonna take one piece of furniture, and I loved my stuff in LA, but I thought it's time for a new beginning. I have too much stuff, and I told my friends like, hey, come over. And Tarek and Matt and Florian came over, loaded up a truck, and they just took my furniture, which was great. And somehow 3.5 years later, we have a house full of stuff.
That's what happens, right? I mean, we accumulate things, but your friend who did the no shopping for a year, does she still shop, or like where is she today, I wonder? You know, no one ever heard from her again. Oh, so she is under a pile of clothes.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think for her, she was doing these updates on Instagram and just sort of explaining to everyone how this process was going. And I think for her, it was just a very mindful feeling or perspective that she developed. She became very aware of, okay, when you buy a product, how is this product made? You know, so much water is used in manufacturing, right? A lot of goods are not fair trade, so the people who made them are sometimes working in terrible conditions. And I think for her, she was just much more intentional about every single purchase she made. Where did it come from?
Right.
Who made it? Were they treated fairly? Were they making a living wage?
Right, and those are definitely things to consider. And I will say one of the things, and I'm sure if Orlando's watching, we're going to have a further discussion on this later, is sort of the rush sometimes I get from shopping.
Oh, it's an adrenaline rush.
The endorphins. I mean, I hope I'm not alone, but it just sometimes is like, just peps me up a little bit.
I think I've seen shows about this where people get a rush from buying something, right? And then they either, was the show Hoarders for real?
Oh gosh, really?
So there are pleasure receptors in your brain, right? And for some people, the act of buying something stimulates those pleasure receptors, and then that's how you end up with a house full of stuff and, like, you know, dying when all of your magazine piles fall on you.
Or shoes.
Sorry, was that depressing? Well, Hoarders, that show, though, is very eye-opening because so many people have piles of clothing still with tags on them and things that they don't need or want.
Right. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know. You know, we're going to see how well this goes. I mean, I'm not going to break it, but it's going to be hard for me.
You can do it.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. Just think about how many times we all roll into Target. Oh, I'm just gonna, what kind of sweatshirt I can find. I need new socks. No, you don't. But you know what I'm saying? You pick up, all of a sudden you went in for 4 things and it's $250. I'm not really sure what happened there, but.
All the time, all the time.
Yeah.
And I think of my mom's advice all the time. And she says, if you don't want to buy things, stay out of stores, which works and is great advice. But the problem is your phone is a store.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to, I deleted apps like Guilt and all of those other apps that are, you know, where you can buy clothing.
Right.
Shopping apps.
Yeah.
I actually reinstalled Guilt the other night. That's how the shoes happened last night. But also my mom has always said that you spend your first half of your life acquiring things, and then the second half of your life trying to get rid of all of it.
Yeah. Well, my mom's saying is, you never see a Brinks truck following a hearse. So spend it.
Wait, say that one more time. Sorry, I missed that.
Typical Eileen. You never see a Brinks truck following a hearse. I don't think about it. It's just what she says. Sometimes if you're like, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? And she'll rattle off. You never see a Brinks truck following a hearse.
Yeah, which is also good advice.
She lives by YOLO.
I think there's a balance, because sometimes you hear people say, oh, we're all going to die with money in the bank. You only live once, spend it now. But I think...
I mean...
You can't starve yourself. I'm curious, by the way, if any of our viewers, if you have things like shopping or things you are giving up for Lent, please let us know on our Facebook page, because it's always interesting to hear what people are giving up.
It is, and we're here to support you the whole way through.
We certainly
I wonder
are.
if anybody else is giving up extracurricular shopping. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's how I'm going to say it.
Well, think about how much money you can save. And I think there's a mindset shift, too. If you're one of those people who, like us, you enjoy shopping and buying things, maybe we could shift our mind and instead download the financial apps like Mint.com or Credit Karma. And then instead of the game being how much stuff can I buy, how much money can I spend, think about like how much can I save? And we just downloaded that Acorns app again.
You did that a while ago, didn't
I did it a few years ago, where every week I would put in $25, right? And then by the end of the year, I couldn't believe there was a substantial amount of money in this account.
And does it go for purchases too, or this is just like it's sort of like an account?
So what it does is it rounds up your purchases to the next dollar. So if you buy something for $1.50, it'll round it up to $2, and it'll take that 50 cents and it will invest it in this separate savings account, which is also curated by someone or a team who's watching the market and helping you grow your money. And so it's not just money that you're transferring over, but it has the potential to really grow. And I think maybe as we're giving up buying things, Courtney, for the next 40 days. Maybe that's something you could see how much money you could save.
We'll see. I like that. And I think you told me about this a while ago, and I said, oh, I'm going to do that. Never did it.
Acorns, yeah. Brandon does it. I do it.
Okay.
It's a great little app.
I'm in.
All right, so this is a big day for you because little Oscar's at puppy school. I know we got to work in a commercial break eventually, but after the break, I think we should chat about your little man going to school.
I know, puppy day school. He loves it. Of course, it's over at Believe in Dog in Shady Acres. There's Oscar.
He is so cute.
He's gotten a little bigger, huh?
Oh,
a little bit,
gosh.
but he loves it. And so the very first day I took him to puppy day school, I said, he doesn't really have a lot of manners. And they said, that's okay, this is where he learns the manners. So he has fun with other puppies, and they're there up until 6 months old. They graduate. They can't go into puppy day school after 6 months old. But then they graduate and they have just a great time, and they're working with the trainers. This is not like a day camp. This is actually
like
training.
Like school.
Yeah, yeah, and they have nap time.
Oh my gosh.
They do, and get a progress report when you pick them up.
I would love to have a little nap time.
I know.
During the break. And also...
These two, they're going to rule the world. Oscar and Tex met for the very first time today.
I mean, so technically they're brothers, right?
Technically, yeah.
They met for the first time today, switched at birth, and how's it going so far?
I think they're playing and running around, and Tex's face is a little... Did you see his face? His lip was kind of up a little. He's not quite sure sharing the spotlight with another dog, but, you know.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. Well, why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back to chat more about puppy school.
That's right. Let's do it. Lauren Kelly's out there live with us today, so we'll have more on that coming up.
Anywhere.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were chatting about little Oscar, Courtney's brand new puppy, in puppy school. And again, this is not just like a daycare where a bunch of dogs are thrown in someone's yard. They're actually learning and growing together. And it's a safe place. If you have a puppy, it's a safe place for them all to play together.
So we, of course, leaned on Stephanie Bennett with Believe in Dog training, and because she did wonders with Tex, right? I mean, we've known her since Tex was a puppy and got adopted from the SPCA. So, we leaned on her before to say, what do we do? What do we need? But they actually come to your house and will do a before you get a puppy class. And so Orlando and I felt really bad for our dogs in the past because we did everything wrong with every other dog that we've had. But she basically walks around and tells you what to expect when you're expecting a puppy. And, you know, said, these cords, you need to lift these cords up. Where's the dog gonna go? Where's the puppy gonna sleep?
So she surveys your house to point out any problems or potential hazards.
Exactly. And then she worked with the boys, right? So AJ's younger, he's 8, and a little bit more skittish with dogs. So she really worked with him, you know, to say, don't run if you want to get away from him, because that's a sign of let's play. Chase me. So there's different commands for him as far as, you know, standing still or asking us to come get him and intervene. And because basically the puppy is walking around with its mouth open, ready to
chomp on anything.
Chomp on anything because it just wants to chew. It's those puppy teeth.
Well, and Tex was like that too.
Remember?
Tex is such a perfect little dog, and he's so well trained and he's gentle. But in the beginning, he had those sharp little puppy teeth, and he was chewing. He would chew on my watch, my bracelet, anything he could.
Right. And so she basically explained to us too that these puppies are sort of like ESL students. They don't know anything. They don't know their name. They don't know what off, sit, down. They don't know any of these things. So the repetitiveness comes along with that. So that was a dream. And then she told us about puppy day school that they offer at Believe in Dog. And you can go for 2 days a week or 3 days a week. They just can't be back-to-back days. And the trainers then work with your dog. So they're getting them familiar with, let's just say, an umbrella. It rained and the dog has never seen an umbrella before.
Does that make some dogs go crazy?
It does, or they don't know what to do with it, or what are you doing? And, you know, they have no idea. So from that to skateboards, to leaf blowers, to lawn
The
equipment.
mailman wearing a giant hat.
Yes, I mean, all of these things are brand new for your dog. And so your dog then mingles at puppy day school with other puppies of the same age, and they're there only until about 6 months is when they graduate. But it has been a dream. Oscar knows his name now, the basic command of sit. We've also learned, too, I don't want him on the furniture. And so we have been saying down, but that's a different command. So we've now learned that it's off if you're jumping, or off on the couch, because down is a different, so it's confusing later.
Oh,
when
I
you're
see.
trying to teach
down
them
is to get them to lie down.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, I mean, she has been so great. Every single trainer there at Believe in Dog, and you're a fan, you've been there multiple times, they all are just like the dog whisperers, puppy whisperers, because man, it's a full-time job when you have a puppy. I mean, I literally feel bad for all the dogs I've had in the past. We didn't do it right. We did not do it right.
Full-time job, but at least it's a temporary full-time job, because once your puppy is trained, then you have a lifetime of love from this well-trained dog.
I know, and it's so great. And I'm so excited that he got to meet Tex today. Because Tex, of course, has been over at our house for sleepovers, and the boys always say to me now, when can Tex come back? Tex and Oscar need to hang out. And, you know, you just take for granted that you think that they're going to play okay together. But I was excited to have the two bros hanging out together.
They all look like they're having so much fun. It's funny that I am now so obsessed with dogs, because when I was a kid, I was terrified of dogs.
You were?
Oh my gosh. My mom was a volunteer for the American Cancer Society, and we used to go door to door in our suburban neighborhood in Salt Lake, and sometimes we would ring a bell or knock on a door, and the dogs behind the door were so scary. And then I remember going and visiting people on Sundays after church, and there was one family down the road from us. They had these, I think they were golden labs or golden retrievers, which are really good dogs, right? But I remember sitting on the couch, and the dogs were at my feet just staring up at me, and I was terrified. But these dogs really did bark a lot, and every time I would shift or cross my legs, these dogs would bark at me, and
they were like, play with me, play.
I had a deep, deep fear of dogs, so it's been nice to come around.
Well, you're such an animal lover. I feel like you need one.
A well-trained dog, though. I think a lot of people are afraid of untrained dogs who are going to jump on you and bark in your face. And so a well-trained dog is a gift to you and to the dog as well.
For sure. But he's in great hands. And one day I'll have blankets and pillows back on my couch, and shoes can be back in their normal spot. One day.
I had a coworker who used to put tinfoil all over her couch to keep the dogs off, because her dogs didn't like the feel of their paws on the tinfoil.
I am not above it. I'm not.
Well, the dogs got smart, and they figured out how to scoot that tinfoil right off onto the ground.
I love it. I'm willing to try anything at this point. And still ahead, guys, we are going to take you inside puppy school. It's in session over at Believe in Dog. There's lots of stuff going in. Lauren Kelly is there for a progress report to see how my puppy Oscar is getting along with Tex and the other dogs. There he is.
Such a cutie. But before that, a reminder, you could win $1,000 by sharing one of your recipes in our Anything But Salad contest. We'll have all the details right after this.
9.
Get ready to win some money. We have teamed up with our friends over at Brianna's Fine Salad Dressing for our Anything But Salad contest. We want to see how you are using your Brianna's dressing in recipes.
Now, all you have to do to enter is upload a photo of the dish you made and the recipe on our website, HoustonLife.tv. One winner will be picked by a panel of Brianna's experts to receive a great prize package that includes $1,000 in cash, a 2-night stay for two at the Street Inn in the heart of downtown Brenham, and meals at some local restaurants.
It is such a great prize pack, plus an exclusive tour of the Brianna's manufacturing facility, and get this, Courtney, a case of the Brianna's dressing of your choice every single month for an entire year.
It's a huge deal. You can enter now through March 18th on our website. And remember, there is only one rule.
No salads.
And it's so cool. No lettuce, no green stuff, right?
I think my mom is going to enter this contest.
She should.
It's open to anyone, so tell your friends, even if they're not in Houston. Here's a look at some of the entries we have received so far. Empanadas with creamy cilantro lime.
Pork tenderloin, Tuscan pork tenderloin sandwich.
Blush wine chicken and potatoes in creamy cilantro lime dressing.
Oh my gosh, these all look so good. Sweet mango chicken tacos with avocado, mango, and corn salsa.
Rich lemon poppy seed cake. Wait a minute. How did they make that?
With the poppy seed dressing. Hello? Oh, yes. All of those look so good.
Who would think to use salad dressing in a lemon cake?
That person.
That is a great idea. All right, well, keep them coming and best of luck.
Coming up next, Lauren Kelly is hanging out with a bunch of puppies at Puppy Day School. Is that Oscar?
Oh,
Hi,
my
Oscar.
goodness.
Hey, I thought that Oscar wanted to be on TV with his mom today. We are here at Stephanie Bennett's Believe in Dog Training, and we are having so much fun. I'm going to show you all about what doggies do in Puppy Day School coming up next with all of my new furry best friends. Say hi, Tex.
Registry sale.
Hi, everyone. My goodness, it is windy out there today. And in fact, not only that, we're going to be looking at a decent amount of sunshine, but it's going to be a really deceiving day as those temperatures are really going to struggle to stay in the low 50s for a good chunk of the afternoon. The wind's going to be the real issue for us here across the rest of the afternoon. Anywhere from around 17, 20, 25 miles an hour as you get down to Galveston. It's clocking in with a wind gust near 40, 29, 32, 28 out in the Tomball. So the breezy conditions will continue. That wind advisory that you see for the entire area, that goes until 6 o'clock this evening. Now, as we look at the temperatures, as we go into this evening, they're going to fall back quickly into the 40s. And guess what that means as we go into tomorrow morning as the winds slowly start to relax? We're going to be seeing some widespread freeze conditions. A little bit of patchy frost not out of the question from, let's say, Wharton on up towards Madisonville, north of Houston, right around downtown, probably about 33, 30, 40 degrees. But here's the best part. Once we get into tomorrow, we start to warm up, upper 50s by Thursday. Friday, Saturday for Cook-Off looking good. We'll be back up near 70 degrees.
We're definitely here at Tex's favorite place, Believe in Dog Training with Stephanie Bennett, who's been on with us so many times. You're such a wonderful friend of the show.
Thank you.
Best friend of Tex, I'll tell you that's for sure. We're in the Heights, and I've never been here before, so I thought this is perfect. I want to give our viewers a look inside and show off how Tex has become so well-behaved and all of his friends. But this Puppy Day School is unlike any Puppy Day School that you're thinking about. It's not puppy babysitting. It's not anything like that. Let's run through what actually happens here. And let's start with the photo booth.
Yes, photo booth here. We're trying to make every single opportunity a learning opportunity. So this is actually a learning opportunity because we're teaching him how to stay. We're teaching them to be handled. We're teaching them to put clothes and things on, although we won't really dress them in clothes a lot. But just it's handling and body recognition and all of that. It's a training exercise, but also then we get a super cute picture out of it as well.
And what you mentioned I thought was really cool. Everything should be a learning opportunity as well as feeding. So you have these food puzzles. The only thing that's going to go in the bowl is the water.
That's it. We only use it. So throw your bowls away. We only use enrichment activities and puzzle toys for feeding always.
Well, let's go on inside and show you guys
on.
what the rest of the facility looks like because this blew my mind. Look at this place right here. So for Puppy Day School, how many dogs will be in a class a day?
So we only have 15 puppies every single day. So we keep it a very, very small number and a small ratio. So every puppy, there they go. Come on, good boy, Westbrook. Come
Courtney,
on,
that was Oscar.
Oscar.
He's leading the way. Come
There
back
we
in,
go.
Oscar.
Thank you. So only 15 puppies a day.
Okay.
And 3 trainers. So at max, there are 5 puppies per 1 trainer. Small ratio.
It's customized, really.
Yes,
Let's
very
take a look
customized.
at each of the areas we have set up today. What is happening over here?
So this is household items. So this is part of socialization, meaning that they are starting to get used to. We're getting used to all different kinds of things, helping them get ready for the real world and real life. There's Alice. Hi, Alice.
Oh, she's so cute. Sometimes the puppy can come in, they haven't seen a shopping cart or a wheelchair or a stroller.
That's right.
They're timid, they're afraid.
And oftentimes the vacuum is the worst enemy in the world, so we get them
Absolutely.
used to that. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Even the hairdryer. You guys have the hairdryer.
Hair dryer,
practice with,
umbrellas,
don't
everything we can imagine. We try to introduce them to it so that they're like, oh, cool, that's fun. And if they don't like it, we will start positive association, classical conditioning with delicious treats so that they go, ooh, vacuum cleaner means hot dogs, yay.
And every time they do something good, they get a treat. They get rewarded.
Yes, we are positive reinforcement only, so we start with that. We also then, though, do concentrate on weaning off treats eventually because we don't want to use them forever and ever.
Okay.
But we do start with a lot of treats, especially if they're nervous of something.
Okay.
Especially.
Gotcha. So what else should we go to next?
So Victoria is over here. She's doing a lot of treats because what she is starting, this is also very, very important, and this is handling. So she's doing all kinds of, see the nails, she's getting her used to nails. This is Evie. Nails, the otoscope, stethoscope, hair dryer, brush. She's got some enrichment toys in there.
Well, for dogs who aren't used to being touched in their faces a lot, even getting their hair groomed, the nails you just mentioned, they need to get used to it.
Yeah, it's a big
before they're
deal.
put in the real world to do it.
And so many dogs hate it.
Absolutely.
They hate it. And it's very much, I mean, you know, so we're making it a fun game. It's
Look
a fun
how
exercise.
Calm he's being. It's just, that's wonderful to see.
So she's turning it into a fun exercise, a fun game. So for the rest of her life, she's like, oh, cool, I did this. I know what this is about.
I
No
got
problem.
this. All right, so set up directly in the middle.
Yes, and so here we have just some training going on and some play at the same time. So Haley's working on some stuff with this is Fit Paws stuff. So basically we're building confidence, balance, appropriate play, all of those things, all at the same time. I mean, they are learning many, many different things all at the same time. This stuff is really cool though, because I mean, look at the balance, problem solving, confidence, all those things all at the same time.
So Stephanie, do you consider yourself a dog whisperer? Because I feel like you know what they're trying to say to you all the time. You're just like, oh, Tex meant I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you spend your days with them all day long, Oscar's has something to say over there.
Oscar has been very busy. He's trying to be the leader here too.
Yes, and so Haley is practicing grabbing a collar and redirecting him. They got a little worked up, those two. So Haley's saying, redirect, babies. Let's do something different here. Let's not get all over each other. Let's do something different. Just if they get a little too worked up, we redirect and calm them down and then play some more.
Look how Oscar is sitting very patiently and calmly after realizing maybe I should be a little bit pulled back.
Because we've done the same thing over and over and over again. We want them to play, but if it gets too cuckoo, we say, hello, everybody. Let's break it up for a second, and then we'll start again.
Well, don't you guys go anywhere. We've got plenty more with Believe in Dog Training and Stephanie Bennett coming up after the break. Puppies, and more puppies are still to come next. We're here at Believe in Dog Training in the Heights with owner Stephanie Bennett, and I told you guys this place is unbelievable. Not only is there a ginormous indoor facility, we've stepped outside because what do puppies want to do most? They want to play.
They want to play,
so
you bet.
Tell us about this area.
So this is our pavilion. We have classes out here, but we also do training. So we have set up puppy agility. This is called Fit Paws equipment. So this is about balance, confidence, skill building, problem solving, all of this. And Oscar happens to be real good at it.
So Oscar is Courtney Zabala's dog. He's brand new here. He's only been here a couple of days. And he's already picking up everything so much.
So quickly.
I feel like you were telling me the mind of a puppy is just like a sponge. They listen to everything you say. It's about repetition, distraction, you know, just continuously adding the same thing every day, and it really does wonders for their behavior.
It's amazing. It's amazing how quickly they learn it. If we are very clear, it's just as easy to teach a good habit as it is a bad habit.
Right.
So if we do the same thing every day and we're crystal clear about what it is we always want and what's okay and what's not okay, it's so easy. They're like, oh, cool. But we unfortunately, we confuse them all the time.
Of course,
But if we are very clear about it, it is just about the easiest thing in the world.
Let's talk about a few details about Puppy Day School, though.
Yes.
There is an age minimum and an age limit. Puppies can come as early as...
They can come as early as 8 weeks, but we do require 2 sets of vaccinations. So usually they don't have them by that young.
Yeah.
But somewhere about 9 or 10 weeks is when they usually start, and they can go all the way up to 6 months. When they're at 6 months, they graduate because they're teenagers. Puppyhood is over.
And nobody wants the teenagers around anymore. They're just problems.
Yeah, so we're dealing with puppies, but we do have group classes for teenagers.
Okay, so there is somewhere for the doggies to go. If they're over 6 months, you have plenty of options.
You bet. Lots of stuff all the time.
Okay, so let's go to the backyard and see what this group is up to. I see bubbles floating around. This is like a playground for dogs as well as adults.
Yes, and they're in the pool.
Look at this.
So be careful because we may get wet. We're going out here. They've been in the pool. There's a little bit of mud. Let's be careful. Come on, everybody. Tex is like, why? Come on. Come on, friends. This way. Come on. Come on, everybody. Come on. Over here. Look.
I like to be confused as the treat lady. Today, I'm okay with that. So the ball pit, the pool.
There goes Tex, right in the pool.
Tex is getting a little bath.
Yes, everybody. Daddy. Hi,
And
gorgeous.
so will they get a bath at the end of the day if they're super muddy and messy?
If they're super muddy, we will. We got lots of towels and all of that. We'll give them a bath if they need it. But we do want to let them be dogs. We let them be dogs. So I am not going, okay, no, I don't care if you had a bath yesterday. You get to come and run around here, get in the water, do whatever you want. I want them to be dogs. Run and play and do the whole thing.
How many times can puppies come during the week for puppy daycare?
They can come up to 3 times a week, but we do not want it to be consecutive.
Okay.
So because they are exhausted, it's a long day for them. So after the day, they are really exhausted, so they must take at least a day break so that they can be refreshed for the next day, because we expect a lot. It's a lot for these babies.
For sure. So at max 3 days a week.
3 days a week is max. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But a lot of people do Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever. But max 3 days, just not consecutive.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of issues with potty training. Do you guys help with potty training as well?
So it's potty training maintenance. You know, so we always have a private lesson first with the owners to really, because that's a real specific issue a lot of the time. So we have a private lesson so we can get real specific with them. And then when the puppies get here, we have a good idea about where they are in their potty training. So we do a lot of crate training maintenance with helps with the potty training. And then we're taking them out one at a time. We have a big chart that keeps very perfect, clear track of who's pottied when, what they pottied, how they pottied, all of that stuff. So we know exactly what's going on with each and every puppy.
What I really want to mention is it's not just puppy training for the puppies. The adults, the owners are going to go home with homework because we mentioned it's about consistency. So you have to keep refreshing the things they learned when they get home.
That's right. It's the bane of my existence to make sure that the information is transferred to the owners. It's very important. So all of our puppy programs are meant to work together. So I would say that 95%, if not more, of the owners are also enrolled in a group class.
Okay.
So the owners come to the group class. The only service we do at all without people is Puppy Day School.
Okay.
And that's just because I'm trying to get them exposed to as much as possible before they're 5 months old. But I want the owners must do a private lesson, and we really want them doing group class, and they go home with a report card, homework, all that stuff every single day. It's a big, you know, it's very intensive.
So the owners will get to see how their puppies do during the day.
It's like a private school. It's very intensive. It's customized, and we expect the owners to work just as hard as the puppies.
Well, Stephanie Bennett, thank you so much. Believe in Dog
you for
Training.
coming.
I know my Minnie is going to have to sign up. She's on the way on the teenager side. I'm apologizing in advance. For more information on Believe in Dog Training, just log on to HoustonLife.tv. Courtney, Derek, I'm going to go play with Oscar and Tex now. They're doing great.
Oh,
Such
my
a
goodness.
fun day. Thanks. I love seeing what he's doing all day. That is so awesome. And they are the true puppy whisperers, dog whisperers. And we start our group class on Saturday. So the whole fam goes then. So
Best
pretty
of luck.
awesome. Have fun, Lauren. Thanks so much for the insight today.
And thanks to Stephanie Bennett as well. Coming up next on Houston Life, how you can help save lives by becoming a bone marrow, organ, or blood donor. Details after the break.
10.
Welcome back. Mark your calendars because today is Give Texas Day. It is the first Texas Bone Marrow, Blood, and Organ Donation Registry Day in honor of a Houston doctor who passed away on this day in 2016 after not being able to find a bone marrow match.
Well, State Representative Gene Wu helped establish this day by passing it into law last year. He's joining us now along with Kelly Moran with the Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center with details on how we can all help save lives. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
before we get to the actual bill and the law that went into place, Kelly, let's start with you. When we talk about the bone marrow donor program, I think it's something, the stats are really staggering. Only 2% of Americans are actually on that national database.
Exactly. This is the whole point of the day. And the legacy of Dr. Reese is encouraging more people and more diverse donors to get on the registry. And if you're 18 to 44, go to bethematch.org and you can sign up to be a donor.
I can only imagine what it would be like to have a loved one who's in need of a bone marrow or organ transplant, literally the thing that will save their lives, but you cannot find a match. And this was the case for your friend, Dr. Nguyen, who passed away.
Absolutely. Dr. Nguyen, she was then married to Dr. Judge Reese, one of my friends from the DA's office, and she was also a very beloved doctor within the Asian American community. You know, it was a frustration for all of us who knew her and loved her, and for the entire community who, you know, she helped deliver a really large number of kids in our community.
Like more than 7,000 babies, right?
Yeah, she did.
And You know, and we felt frustrated with ourselves that the Asian American community was not registered as much as other communities. And it's so difficult already to find a match, and this made it just so much worse.
It really, and it's simple because it's basically a swab of the mouth and it goes to the database and you get a call when there's a match.
Yep. And in fact, when she did the drive, I got registered when I was in the DA's office, and it was just so easy. It was literally just a couple of Q-tips, and you just swab your mouth, throw it in the bag, and you send it in, and that's it.
That's it, you wait.
So there's nothing invasive if you're getting the test. And this, Kelly, this is much more complicated than just like a blood match, right? So if someone needs a blood transfusion, they have to have the correct blood type. But for a bone marrow match, it's much more rare than a blood match, right?
Yeah, it's really rare because they're looking for your ancestry background. They're looking for more diverse donors. And every 3 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. So that's why this day is so important, to save lives like Dr. Ann Reese, because there's also 11,000 people waiting for organ transplants. Right. And when you go and donate blood, you can save up to 3 lives. So, and her legacy lives on because we can save lives like hers and not have people wait.
And today is the inaugural day to go ahead. What do we need to do? How do we take part in this?
And this is what makes this day so great, is that we need public awareness, number one, but we also need people to know that it is so easy to save a life. And you know, I have it on my driver's license, the little heart at the corner of your driver's license.
Yep.
All it is one checkbox when you get your license or when you renew, saying I want to be an organ donor. Or if you want to do bone marrow registry, you can sign up online. They'll send you a kit, and all you have to do is just swab your cheeks, mail it back in. That's it. That's the totality of it. If you want to give blood, it's about half an hour, maybe an hour top of your time, and it's a great excuse to have a big meal afterwards.
Cookies.
And really, the thing we want to emphasize is, man, these things are so incredibly easy to do. There should be no reason that they should stop you from being a donor and getting registered or donating blood. And it's so little to ask of people to save another person's life.
Absolutely.
And again, if the tables were turned, let's say you needed a bone marrow transplant because you were sick, or you needed an organ or a loved one, we wouldn't hesitate to take someone else up on their offer to provide us with an organ or bone marrow. So we also should not hesitate to be a donor. I'm a proud donor. Let's talk about some of the myths very quickly, because you hear all kinds of things like, oh, I've heard that if I register to be an organ donor and I'm in an accident, they're just gonna let me die. That is 100% false.
That's
correct?
one of the biggest myths out there. You hear all these myths that people prevent people from signing up, and we don't want to prevent people. We want to encourage people, because people are waiting for those heart transplants. There's someone that's going into a hospital. We don't want people to self-defer when you give blood. If you think you have a tattoo, you may say, oh, I need to wait a whole year. You can only wait a week if you get a tattoo in a state licensed facility. So these are the things we don't want people to self-defer and prevent from themselves from saving lives.
And really, the blood center, you need blood every single day. We can't wait for an event or a tragedy because that blood is not usable right away.
You're right. You're right. You're so right. 1 in 7 people entering a hospital need blood, but only 1 in 20 people donate. Those are big numbers. That's 5% of the U.S. population that is only giving blood, and that's a big burden. There's a constant need every single day.
And Kelly, there's a blood drive happening right now?
Yeah.
People can donate today?
Yeah, they could go over to Legacy Clinic over off of High Star. And also, if you can't make it there, there are mobile drives 7 days a week all throughout Houston. And if you're not in this area, this is for Texas. You can give blood in your community and find a local blood center near you.
And also, to become a stem cell or bone marrow donor, you can text Texas to 61474 to start that process, and you can also get a kit that way.
They'll send you a kit and a little swab, and you wait for the call, and you're someone's cure.
It's so easy.
It's incredibly easy. They've made it just as absolutely as easy as possible. People just need to get off their butts and do it.
Well, Dr. Ann Wynn-Reese would be very proud of your efforts. Representative Wu, Kelly Moran, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you all would like more information, you can visit giveblood.org, or you can pick up the phone and call 713-791-6373.
We'll be right back. It's the best time of the year. You know what this means, right? Rodeo Cook-Off starts tomorrow. Of course, the World Champion Barbecue Contest kicks off. We have everything you need to know about Cook-Off, from tickets, when gates open, parking, what to expect, and much, much more.
Wear some good boots, I'm saying. I'm going to be down there. A
Absolutely.
lot of walk-in. Also, DIY lunch bowls, meal prepping made easy with none other than Tangy Patton of Good Taste with Tangy. How about ramen or other easy-to-make soups to serve? Just add broth or water, microwave, and presto, you've got lunch ready to go.
Did you make it today?
This is a genius idea. Look at that. So you just add broth or
Yum.
water to that?
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. Sign
That's a
me
good
up.
one.
Also, we've got some comments that we'd like to share from our Facebook page. And one says, I'm giving up sweets to all sweets. # pray for me.
Vince, we are praying
Yes.
for you. Thanks for your comment. And Kara on Facebook says, Courtney, I understand the shopping thing. You are not alone. I think a lot of us can identify
Yes,
with
thank
that.
you. And Karen on Facebook has given up snacks for Lent. Nothing between meals. Oh, Karen, we got this, girl. We all have it. Let's
Nothing
do it.
between
What are you going to do?
meals?
What are you going to give up? Come on, be a bandwagon Catholic.
I need time to think about it.